Run EAV. That's not what we're here to talk about. But I did just get this shirt from our run group. I've got John, Mark, and Kevin tagged on here. I know they're in the middle of working some stuff right now. You're going to see me looking over here because I'm looking at one of my screens and my other screen's over here. Christopher, what's up, man? So I just wanted to bring up a few points to a lot of you guys. And I'm going to keep looking down too because I got a couple notes here. Screens all over the freaking place, so just bear with me. Lori, what's up? I know you're at work. What is it? Oh, shoot, 4:20. Anyway, so a few things here. One, you guys already know, I always preach about report. So here's, right now we've got a situation that I just got off the phone with a couple of my employees, and I'm not going to tell you guys where in Metro Atlanta the deal is. It doesn't really matter right now. I'm just going to try to run through a process, some numbers, and then, you know, we just spent 30, 45 minutes going back and forth on different ideas on this. And this is something that I want a lot of you guys to think about as well, especially for those of you who are wholesalers and investors that are out there. First, again, like I was telling you about the report, we got this house right now for probably half the price of my Jeep discount over another investor. So this seller right now, we're giving them what they want. We were even willing to pay a little bit more, but they're happy with what they wanted. So why not give what they want? Meanwhile, it's almost $20,000 lower than at least another offer, but they're willing to work with our company and, most importantly, our employees. I wasn't there, so it's the company, but my employees. Because this seller loves the employees and the way that we run business and have done all the research on us, and they know that we're going to expedite the process, do whatever it is that they want done, take care of them. So anyway, that's number one, which everybody should already know. Building rapport, being transparent, completely honest, no bullshit. There's no sense, right? We already knew we were going to be making money. They're happy with what they want. Anyway, so let's get into a couple numbers here. Now, this is going to be some of the juicy stuff. I'm pretty pumped about it, pretty excited about it. I'm trying not to. I'm gonna change some of the numbers up a little bit, okay? But you'll get the same idea. So we've got this property that is currently already rent ready, but it definitely needs a little bit of work to it. But it's still rent ready. So we could do a few things right now. We could just turn right back around and wholesale the property out and make, you know what, I'm not afraid to tell you guys what this one is. Why? Because we're spending a lot of money on marketing. We're busting our ass for these kinds of things. And we were actually going to be paying more, and the seller didn't want it. So we're going to be making more money from it. Such is life. Anyway, so we could just turn right back around, wholesale the property. The investor would still make a lot of money on this flip, okay? Plenty of meat on the bone. So we could either immediately turn right back around and wholesale a property and make close to $50,000, 40 to 50 grand, 45 grand, something like that. Obviously, there's a little bit of a plus or minus there. So now that I changed my numbers up, so let's just call it 50, okay? So 50,000. What are some other options? Immediately, when I start talking with the team, because I'm thinking, what if we wholetail it? Which for some of you who are watching or will watch this, what is wholetail? It could be a couple things. One is you control the deal, you buy it, and then you just do a very light cosmetic rehab, or maybe you just go in there and just kind of paint the walls, clean it up, and list it. And then that is, what's up, John Mark? No, don't worry, I'm not giving away everything. I've changed numbers and stuff like that, so don't worry, we're all good. Knock on wood on a few things. But anyway, so wholesale. So paint, carpet kind of thing, very light cosmetic. Really don't do anything else. It's going to cost you a lot of money, but it's going to be up to the standards where someone else who could then get a loan on it, buy the house, and pay the retail price for the property. So that's wholesale. The other thing that we could do is do a little bit more of a rehab. It's still a wholesale, it's not a full fix and flip, so it still kind of falls in line of that wholesale. And lastly, of course, we could just buy it and flip it. Now, what I immediately am already thinking in my head is all the different scenarios. How much is the commissions that I got to pay up front for all my employees, operating cost, and then could I just hold it and flip it and stuff like that? Well, I know some of you guys don't know, my operating cost and what I've got in the bank right now and the new employees that are coming in and stuff like that. So we're not even going to get into that part. So of course, the first few minutes there, one of the employees are like, let's just go ahead, let's just hurry up and let's just go ahead and sell it. And what did John Mark say? How I just wanted to stop by. Amazing time bouncing ideas on this. Oh yeah, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. We spent like 30 or 40 minutes going over this. This is just the part that I'm about to talk about right now. So at first, Kevin, I think, was like, hey, let's just go ahead and wholesale it. Just go ahead and give it to another investor. Let them there's plenty of meat on the bone. Let's just go ahead and make our cut and go. Which is great. But then I started letting him say, hey, instead of me telling you all the numbers, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm slowly but surely stepping out, creating more businesses, bringing in more business partners, creating more strategic partners, bringing in more private money. I need to have time to do that. So now I'm trying to make the team think all of these things that I've had in my mind for years and years. So it's nice that now I can run through all this entire process, all the different numbers, and now just let the team tell me, okay, what would you do? Okay, why would you do it that way? Would you consider doing it this way? If you did do it that way, what are your numbers there? So we started then running through the wholetail versus the wholesale, and then running through flip and whatnot. And then all of a sudden we went from, okay, sure, instead of making 40 to 50, we could make 60 to 70,000 on doing a small rehab and then selling the property. It's great. Well, immediately you're like, okay, cool, 60 to 70, but there's also a lot more cost involved, and there's also time. So do you guys want your money now, or do you want your money in 2 to 3 months? What can you live with right now? I'm on the fence because I've got so many operating expenses and a lot of things I got to do. Trust me, I'd much rather have the money today and then have a little security for the new people that I got coming on. But quite frankly, the way I've always ran my business and who I am with all of my work is I would rather let my balls sweat for a couple more months and then turn out better, make some more money towards the end, sweat a little bit, stress. That's okay. That's the reason why we're doing what we're doing now, and a lot of people can't do it because they can't handle the stress. So here we are. Now we're running through some of these numbers. Now let me tell you guys, some of you who have not flipped, who are wholesaling, who don't understand a lot of the numbers that investors have to go through. Yeah, I'm going to be looking at some of my notes. Like I said, I changed some of the numbers. So let's just say that my purchase right now is 143 grand, 143 grand is what I just kind of wrote over here. If I just wholetail it, I can turn right back around and you already know the numbers I can make. If I am to wholetail it, so I've got to control the deal, I've got to buy it. So it'd be the same as if another investor was to buy it. Now let me get into a lot of the numbers that are going through my head and investors always have to think about. And this is more for wholesalers or new investors. And there's a couple numbers in here. There's 2 specific numbers that almost majority of you investors forget about all the time. Stan, what's going on? Frank, how are you? Stan, you'll have to go back and watch some of this. I mean, it's nothing new to you. You already know all of this. Matter of fact, you should be up here preaching these kinds of things. But you're going to appreciate the part I'm getting into right now. So 143,000. I'm just going to assume that I'm using a private money. I've got different rates and stuff. I'm just going to kind of go with a number that's in the middle, right? I've got better, I've got worse guys. Just depends on who, when, what, all that. So I'm just going to kind of give some rough numbers here. So for purchase at 143, for title and attorney fees and all that kind of stuff, it's roughly going to be about $1,500. My rehab on a wholetail is going to be just shy of 15, maybe 12 or something like that, but I'm going to budget 15 grand because I guarantee there's always something that we didn't see. Always. So $15,000 rehab. Now with the private money, I'm just going to say, again, the middle of the line kind of guy. I've got the origination for him, so I've got another little over $3,000. And then for a wholetail, I'm just going to assume it's going to take 3 weeks, maybe a month to get the small things that I want done on this house. And then I'm going to budget for probably another 2 months before it finally closes. I'm probably going to go through 1 or 2 people, because this isn't a fully gutted rehab property where I'm not going to have any kind of problems. This is going to be a light cosmetic. There's going to be some issues that are going to come up on inspection report. I mean, this is almost like an as-is deal, but still good enough for a loan. So I expect that we're probably going to have to go through a couple people, some wishy-washy people, maybe some kind of delay or whatever. So I just expect that there might be at least one person that falls through. It's just going to happen. So I'm just going to budget for 3 months there, knowing that we're going to get done 2 to 3 weeks for the rehab. So right now I'm budgeting for about 3 months of holding cost, or let's just say at first 3 months of interest for my private money. So there's close to $4,000. Now here's the part that a lot of you guys forget about: taxes, insurance, and utilities, especially taxes. And when you're in some really hot areas, you guys forget that sometimes a small house, the taxes can be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a year. So you divide that by 3 if I'm holding it for 3 months. You guys forget about that part. So right now I'm budgeting for close to $2,000 just in taxes, insurance, and utilities. And then I'm going to go, because I know this specific house could sell by itself, I'm not going to worry about using an agent at a 3% listing. It's not going to make sense for me. So I'll just use one of my friends and just do a flat fee probably. So give or take $1,500, something of that nature. And then lastly, we also have to think of what's the buying commission for the buying agent. 3%. I'm not going to go 2.5 and just try to cop out and cheap it and stuff like that. Like, we're all making money, it's fine. Give the agent what they want. 3%, it's fine. So that's still going to be, we're just roughly estimating $250. It might go $260, it might go $245, but we're still pretty conservative. So that's still $7,500 in commission. So I'm going through all these numbers because I'm working through all these numbers with my team right now, who's not used to flipping, who has only done wholesale and is just now getting into buy and holds. And so a lot of those, a lot of my guys still haven't went through all these processes. I mean, they've been through some, but to finally now have the time to sit down with me, and they've been doing this for long enough to where now I can share this stuff with them, and it's going to start clicking. Before, I could have told them all this kind of stuff, this shit wouldn't stick. But now that they're out there seeing the numbers, seeing the houses, running comps, understanding the true ARVs, now all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute. So I could have just sold the house really quick and made 40 or 50 grand. What's up, Mark? How are you, man? Yeah, I have to go back and watch all this. So now all of a sudden we went from the first scenario to the wholesale scenario. Now it went from like 40 or 50 to, 65, 75 grand. Let's just say 70 grand. But now you got to wait 3 months to be able to get that. So based on their commission structure, would they rather have their commission off of 40 or 50, or would they rather have their commission off of $70,000? All of a sudden, then the light bulb starts going off. But then we have to go back again and double check. Hey, okay, sounds great, but let's go back and double check all these comps. And let's double check 3 times. I think I just had a connection here. Anyway, so then we got to go back, check all of our comps again, check the rehab numbers all over again, and double check it, triple check it, and make sure. We already know we have plenty of spread. We're very conservative already. We're really good, but I still like to make sure we double, triple check all of our rehab numbers, taxes, insurance, holding costs, private, which private money or lender are we going to use? I try to start running all my numbers for what would be the worst case scenario, and then I still have spread. Great. Now let me just go ahead and go back down the line and figure out one of my other better private lenders who maybe is going to save us a little bit. So anyway, I think that's pretty much about it. I'm probably had some other things going on with this specific deal, but I just wanted to share with some of you guys, especially some of you wholesalers that aren't really understanding exactly what investors are having to think of when they're running their numbers. It's not just a straight up, not every investor is all freaking cash. It's not like hey, I'm going to buy it for 150 and then I'm going to sell the house for $300 and I'm only going to put $100,000 in it, and boom, you make $50,000 profit. That's not the way it is. There's holding costs, guys. There's all these unforeseen things. And so especially for these newer investors, don't forget about the taxes, the insurance, the utilities. Those things will eat you alive, especially if you're holding on to that thing for 4, 5, 6, 7 months. And of course, your interest for your either your hard money or your private money or whatever you've got. So guys, I'll give you another second or two. Any other questions? Let me see what we have up here. Mark. John Mark. All right, if any of you guys have any other questions or anything like that, any kind of numbers, I will try to answer that here in just a second. And then I'm going to finally get out of my runny sweats and go take a shower and get back out. I got to go take a look at 2 houses right now. We shall see. Oh, for the rest of you guys, we do have a lot more deals coming in right now. I think we got 3 or 4 YouTube videos I just put on YouTube now. Duh, if it's on YouTube. Anyway, so for our 360 views of a lot of these houses. So right now I think we've got another 3 to 5 or something like that locked in that should be coming out soon. We're still trying to work some numbers on that. So guys, I don't see any other questions. Anybody on the replay? Kobus, what's up? Jesse, good to see you. Yes, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to just maybe do some more of these wholesale things instead of full flips, because then I still have to take care of all of the accounting right now because I don't have a bookkeeper. And so I still got to deal with that. And then I really don't want to have to be answering all the questions about tile, paint, take this wall out, do this, do that, even though my project manager already knows how to do all that. But it's more of like, hey, Jesse, what's your design? What do you want to do? I really don't want to do that if I can help it. So now I'm just trying to use my project manager for a lot of our rental rehabs. And then I think now that I'm working with the team on, and they're understanding these numbers now, now they can just kind of say, hey, Jesse, I think this is going to be one that I think we should wholesale. I'm willing to wait 2 months, 3 months, a month and a half, 3 weeks, whatever, longer instead of getting my money today. So a lot of the team now is starting to kind of understand the long-term play. And that's exactly how I want this company to run, is it's all about long-term, period. I just had a scenario yesterday with one of the employees. They were like, well, if we went with this person, this is what's going to happen. So why does it really matter? And I said, why does it really matter? Because this one specific person that we're building a strategic partnership with, I know you don't know about what's going on, but all we have to do is burn that one little bridge, and we just lost a ton of deals, and we just burnt that relationship. And then is it really worth it just for $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 for right now? Like, I don't give a shit. 20 grand right now, who cares? You'll be making 200, 300, 400 times that amount down the road. So here at Execo, it's 100% about long-term and try to do your best for everybody. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Love you. Talk to you soon.